Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I'm going to be telling you 15 things you need to know about the Ocelot R88 Formula 1 vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online. So that's right, Rockstar didn't just add one Formula 1 car, they added two Formula 1 cars in this update, and this is the Ocelot R88. Which is actually a slightly cheaper version than the Progen PR4 for whatever that's worth. It's only $3,115,000. And just like the Progen PR4, this is also in a class of its own. It is not in supercars, it is a class called open wheel. And so far, this and the Progen PR4 are the only vehicles in that category. And honestly, right off the bat, it looks very similar to the Progen PR4 with some subtle differences, and there's also some subtle differences that we will see inside of the LSC. So let's take the vehicle in there right now and get this customized. And as you guys can see here, not so much on the customization front. I don't think that's why Rockstar added these into the game, but you can change a few things, including the bodywork of the car itself, which you can actually modify the chassis of the vehicle, whether you want to add vents or a Mark II body, a vented Mark II body. So you can change it up a little bit to add some styling to the actual car itself. Now, what's interesting is changing the front bumper actually has an impact on traction. So Rockstar considers the front bumper to be the spoiler of this car as far as traction goes. So as you guys can see there, you start with the stock front bumper. If you were to choose no wing on the front, you would actually lose some traction. And then if you were to choose any of the other upgrades like low front wing 2, medium front wing 1 and 2, or championship front wing 1 or 2, you would actually get an increased traction bonus. So you do have to select one of the upgraded options to get extra traction with this vehicle. And if you choose no wing, you're going to have less traction. So just keep that in mind when you are upgrading the vehicle itself. Now, after that, it's time to move on to the liveries. And just like on the Progen PR4, a lot of good ones here. The first is Douche Racing, which sort of puts this white douche font and text all over the car. They've got their slogan of Let It Pour. There's a couple of other sponsorships too, 29 written on the front, douche on the spoiler. This one would look good with an orange or a yellow color. And also, a lot of the liveries on here don't change the color of the vehicle. Instead, what they'll do is just add text and sponsorships and stuff like that. So the color of my car is black, which is why you'll see a lot of the liveries retain that black color. It won't change until I actually make a modification to the respray. So after Douche Racing, it is Aero Racing, which I love this one. So as you guys can see, it sort of changes the bottom fifth of the car to this blue and yellow design. You guys can see the Aero logo, 33, Aero gasoline. And it almost puts this sort of dark seafoam blue color as the accent. I think this one is amazing. It's definitely one of my favorites that Rockstar ended up introducing. The next one is Escalera, which is very fun. It's this deep purple color, and you can see there's a ton of sponsorships on there. Escalera Rent-A-Car, Auto Exotic, Penris, handful of others like Zero Gas, Globe Oil, Chapal. It's this neon purple color. It's really hard to explain. It's not really the one that I was going for, but I still think it looks pretty cool. The next one is Estancia Tobacco. I can't really say I love the Estancia Tobacco one. It does put this royal crown on there, and it has the Estancia logo. But for me, with these cars, I tried to go for more of a MotoGP vibe instead of whatever the Estancia logo is trying to go for here. And it does add a couple of other things as well. You can see the 5 on the nose of the car. Handful of other sponsorships too. That is Estancia Tobacco. The next one is Pizvazar Racing. I like this one a lot. It's sort of our first two-tone design here. It says you're in Pizvazar country, you're in for a good time. It has 24 on the wing and the front. It has the Ocelot logo as well and the Pizvazar logo. So that's a really good one in my opinion. The next one after that is Jakey's Lager. I also really like this one as well. Again, it sort of makes the bottom third of the car this deep blue color with the Jakey's logo and their slogan, Drink Outdoors with Jakey's. And there's also these 3 sort of peachy red lines that go across the side. It looks really good. It's the same lines that can be found in the Jakey's logo. So that's Jakey's Lager. The next one is Narc Racing. I think this one is okay. I don't know what like brand Narc is, but there's a couple of other sponsorships on there like Lawn Bank, and you can see Globe Oil, Chapal, Hardstand, Atomic Tires. So this one's another kind of two-tone one. I think it's okay. Certainly not the best that I believe for this vehicle, but not terrible either. The next one is Olympian Motorsports. This one's interesting. It kind of makes like the front of the car red and then like the back of the vehicle red as well. It also has sort of like a two-tone design. You've got hints of reds here, so this would work really well with like black or white as your primary color, something that doesn't clash with the red. And there's a handful of other sponsorships on there with the Olympian Rentals in green being the text that you can see on the side. After that, it is Air EMU. I think this one is my personal favorite. It makes the majority of the car this sort of like shiny light blue color. And you can see the Air EMU text on there with the logo as well. You've also got the Cell Tower sponsorships and the 5 on there as well. So I actually really like this one. Anything that has like yellows and blues honestly looks really good in my opinion. And last but not least, it's Redwood Racing. Another one that I think looks great. I'm pretty sure I almost went for this one, but I wasn't like just too sure how it would look. I thought about going with like a red design, and I think it looked pretty neat, but at the end of the day, I think I ended up going back to Air EMU as my final livery choice. So once we've got our liveries established, now we need to do the primary and secondary color. The primary color is going to have an impact on pretty much everything the livery does not cover on this vehicle. As you can see, it's pretty much changing everything, even the wings on the spoiler and the bumper, and pretty much the entire body of the car. And the secondary color for me only changed like the front end of the rear spoiler. Like I don't know what that was supposed to do, but that's literally the only change it ended up making. So a small little change right there, but that's what your secondary color ultimately does. Now after that, you do get to change some roof options on this car. You can change the roll bar there. So by default, that's what it looks like. You can change it to medium, long, or you can have a primary hoop, which is also going to be your primary color. So that's a fun little customization upgrade right there that you can mess around with. And then after that, you basically just choose your spoiler. And remember, the spoiler on this car does not have an impact on traction. And in fact, by default, having no spoiler on the car still gives you a default spoiler, which is kind of interesting. But you can choose between oval, rectangle, cutoff, wedge, small angular, a lot of different options here. So you can get some different designs, and you can see that choosing each one will also have an impact on the livery as well. So just keep that in mind. Now, just like with the first race car we looked at, it does have its own set of race car wheels and tires that no other vehicle in the game has. So that's a unique upgrade to these F1 cars. And just like the Progen PR4, this vehicle also doesn't have headlights. You can't open any of the doors, trunks, or anything like that. And if you were to use like a mod menu, all of the parts can be removed, just like what we saw in the Progen PR4. So I don't know if this vehicle is meant to take heavy damage like that, where you'd actually see like the engine and stuff like that. But it is interesting the fact that Rockstar included that feature on this car. And just like the Progen PR4, it's obviously incredibly fast. I think it's safe to say that both of these vehicles, if they were placed in the supercar category, would just completely break that class. They would be way too quick. So I think Rockstar ultimately made the right decision putting them in their own separate class open wheel. And I mean, what more is there to say about a Formula One car? It's incredibly fast. It's obviously a one-seater. It's just a ridiculously quick car. It'll be interesting to see when this releases. This one is scheduled ahead of the Progen PR4, although I would imagine they would release at the same time, especially because there's probably going to be some like open-wheeled racing surrounding both of these cars. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think of this new Formula One car in Grand Theft Auto Online, the Ocelot R88? Is this a vehicle you're going to be buying? Or are you going to be staying away from it? Are you going to wait till it comes on a discount or a sale? Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Diamond Casino heist videos that I'm going to be doing here on my channel over the next couple of days and weeks. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.